Have you ever wondered how secure your favorite web applications are? In today's interconnected world, web application security is paramount. It's not just for tech gurus or cybersecurity enthusiasts, it's a topic that touches all of us. Every time we log into an online account, make a digital purchase, or share a post on social media, we're interacting with web applications. But how secure are these platforms? That's where the Open Web Application Security Project, or OWASP, steps in. OWASP is a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving web application security. One of their most well-known initiatives is the OWASP Top 10, a standard awareness document that identifies the most critical security risks to web applications. From injection attacks to broken authentication, these risks are ever-present and continually evolving. Understanding them is the first step towards safer online experiences. So, are you ready to unravel the mysteries of web application security with the OWASP Top 10? First on our list is injection attacks, a common yet dangerous threat. Essentially, this is when an attacker sends harmful data to a system, tricking it into executing unintended commands. They could manipulate databases, steal data, or even take control of the system. Imagine a burglar sneaking a skeleton key into a lock. That's an injection attack for you. The consequences can be catastrophic, leading to data breaches or full system takeovers. Injection attacks, a simple concept yet a major threat to web application security. Second on our list, broken authentication, a seemingly minor flaw with major implications. This occurs when application functions related to authentication and session management are implemented incorrectly, allowing attackers to impersonate users. Imagine having a lock with a faulty mechanism. Anyone with a bit of know-how could potentially gain access. The damage? Unauthorized access to sensitive data, identity theft, and even total system takeover. It's a silent yet deadly cyber threat. Remember, strong authentication is a cornerstone of web security. Third on our list, sensitive data exposure, a silent yet dangerous threat. This occurs when an application doesn't adequately protect sensitive information, such as credit card details or social security numbers. Often caused by lack of encryption, weak algorithms, or insecure storage, this exposure can lead to serious consequences like identity theft or financial loss. As cyber attackers become more cunning, the risk heightens. As you can see, data protection is crucial in maintaining web security. Next, we have XML External Entities, a complex but significant risk. XXE is a type of attack where an attacker exploits a weakness in an application's XML parser. They do this by injecting malicious data, which can trick the parser into disclosing sensitive information or even executing harmful commands. The severity of this attack can range from mere data leakage to a full system compromise. While it sounds complex, understanding XXE is key to preventing major security issues. Fifth on our list is broken access control, a gateway to unauthorized actions. In the digital realm, access control is like a bouncer at a club, deciding who gets in and who doesn't. But when it's broken, it's like the bouncer has vanished. Anyone can waltz in and do as they please. They can view sensitive data, modify content, and even perform administrative tasks. This is a perilous situation, akin to a wolf gaining access to the sheep pen. Access control, when broken, can open doors to a myriad of security threats. There are still more threats to cover in the OWASP Top 10. Let's start with security misconfiguration. This happens when security settings are defined, implemented, and maintained incorrectly. It's like leaving your doors unlocked because you didn't understand the lock's instructions. These misconfigurations can lead to unauthorized access to sensitive information and system data, making it a playground for cybercriminals. Next up, we have cross-site scripting, or XSS. This attack occurs when an application includes untrusted data in a new web page without proper validation or escaping. In simpler words, it's like someone sneaking a malicious note into your letter stack, causing chaos when the recipient reads it. XSS allows attackers to execute scripts in the victim's browser, hijacking user sessions or defacing websites. The third on our list is insecure deserialization. This is a mouthful, but in essence, it's a way for attackers to transfer a payload into a system and cause it to run an unintended function. Imagine receiving a beautifully wrapped gift that, when opened, releases a swarm of bees. That's insecure deserialization for you. Moving on, we have using components with known vulnerabilities. It's as straightforward as it sounds. Developers often use components like libraries and frameworks that have known security flaws. It's like using a faulty foundation for your house. If the foundation crumbles, so does everything built on top of it. Finally, we have insufficient logging and monitoring. Without adequate logging and monitoring, attackers could maintain their presence in a system for an extended period, causing more damage. It's akin to a thief living in your attic, going unnoticed because you never check it. These, along with the ones we've already discussed, make up the OWASP Top 10. Now that we've covered the OWASP Top 10, let's summarize the key points. We started with an introduction to web application security, setting the stage for the significance of understanding these threats. Then, we delved into injection attacks, recognizing them as one of the most common web application vulnerabilities. We learned that the prevention of these attacks relies heavily on using parameterized queries or prepared statements. We moved on to broken authentication, a flaw that can make your application an easy target for attackers. We stressed the importance of implementing strong authentication and session management controls, as well as multi-factor authentication. Next, we touched on sensitive data exposure, understanding that data needs to be protected both in transit and at rest. To mitigate this, we must ensure secure configurations, encrypt sensitive data, and implement robust access controls. We then discussed XML External Entities, or XXE, and how these can lead to disclosure of internal files, denial of service, or remote code execution. Mitigation strategies include disabling XML External Entity processing and updating or patching XML processors. Our conversation then turned to broken access control, highlighting the fact that restrictions on what authenticated users are allowed to do are often not properly enforced. To counter this, we need to deny by default, validate access rights, and use least privilege principles. We wrapped up with a quick overview of the rest of the OWASP Top 10, each one a significant threat that needs to be understood and mitigated. Remember, understanding these threats is the first step towards a safer web experience.